India has made it to the semi-finals of the ICC Champions Trophy and seems like that's not gone down too well with cricket commentators and observers everywhere. Many voices, some legendary, have raised questions over the differential treatment India has received, which has given them the advantage in this ICC tournament. The murmurs, of course, began few days ago with journalists and some observing the game crying foul over India being the only country to play every single match in one venue. The only country that's getting used to the conditions because they are playing all their matches in Dubai.
I feel very uncomfortable about the way that India is being treated at the moment. If you're going to play international tournaments, you can't pick and choose where you play and where you're not going to play.
The broadcaster says he feels uncomfortable with the treatment India is being given. He's calling the ICC out for their bias here and also pointing fingers at India for arm twisting their way through this. But now players have started speaking out too. Pat Cummins is not leading the Australian side for this one, but he did not shy away from saying what he truly felt.
I think it's good that the tournament can go on, but obviously it does give India a huge advantage playing on the same ground. They already look very strong, and they've got that obvious benefit of playing all their games there.
Again, his biggest objection is India has the advantage of being used to the same conditions that the final will be at, if of course they do make it.
They're playing at just one venue. Therefore, the selection, can focus in on the conditions in Dubai. That seems to me to be an undeniable advantage.
The teams will have to pick playing 11s for different conditions, and then they have to travel and adjust to those conditions. They sit happily and comfortably there. They know they are going to play 6 games there, and if they will win all those, they'll win another global tournament.
England's former cricketers Nasir Hussain and Michael Atherton, in a conversation on their podcast, discussed India's situation vis-a-vis the other countries participating. So what were their main objections? 1. India can easily pick sides given they are playing in a single venue. 2. They do not have to travel between countries or cities like the other teams are. 3. If they do reach the final, they would have been far more adapted to the conditions than their opposition on the day. So let's tackle these allegations or objections. A tournament like an ICC event almost always means getting used to different pitches and conditions. It happens at every tournament, including the 2023 ODI World Cup, which was across many cities in India, or the 2024 T20 World Cup, which was across 2 countries. Getting adjusted, or in fact many more cities as well. Getting adjusted or acclimatized to different conditions is mandatory as international cricketers. But let's look at the larger accusation here. India choosing where they will play and not playing in Pakistan or traveling between cities. And who's to blame there? Who's at fault for such a situation even occurring? The geopolitical tensions between India and Pakistan are high. Just yesterday, the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif made a statement taunting India and challenging them of showing growth more than India would in the years to come. Safe to say, Pakistan and India's relationship has always been fraught with unpredictability and danger. The main reason for this situation, a hybrid model to arise, is the fact that India simply cannot travel to Pakistan. No matter security being beefed up, no matter the promises being made and the assurances, because that's when something like this hits you. Pakistan's intelligence bureau, of course, reportedly issuing a warning about a potential terror threat from ISKP, Islamic State Khorasan province, threatening to kidnap foreigners. This is the latest. Now, how can India possibly send their cricketers when such a scenario can be led to that? And we are, of course, talking about cricketers who are superstars, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, who had to travel with top security, even in a city like New York, when security threats came to light just before the clash against Pakistan. How can India trust nothing untoward would happen in Pakistan? Now, while there has been a certain decline in the casualties, that's what you think, terror attacks have not stopped in Pakistan. Now, of course, you think that the number of attacks would have been on a decline over the years, but it's just the opposite. The attacks have only increased, and with that, so have the casualties. Just last year, that number went beyond 2,000. How can India trust and send their cricketers when numbers tell you a different story? The ICC, the PCB and the BCCI know the situation cannot go on in this manner. But everyone, including the other cricket boards, are doubly aware that an ICC event without India would mean a failure in more ways than one. No spectators, no broadcasters, no sponsors, and no monies. It's a disaster. This was the best solution to ensure a Champions Trophy at least happened. And where is this bias when there has been an understanding that the parties involved have arrived at, which also means Pakistan playing matches at neutral venue when India is the host for future ICC events? It's been a fair agreement that everyone has attested to, realizing what the situation is. How impossible it was for India to stay and play in Pakistan and what really was at stake. Yes, this isn't ideal, but maybe these objections could have been voiced long back, not when the Indian cricket team is looking good to possibly go all the way. So maybe a little too late for all these allegations. The best thing other teams can do is fight against the odds and prove that they are the best at doing what any international sporting side ought to anyway: get used to different conditions, play smart cricket and win against all odds. That would make for a more compelling story.